What's up, YouTube fam, and welcome. My name is Ojo, here with God, Guns, and Gadgets, and today we have our very first daily report. But before we tap into that, we just hope and pray that all is well with you and your family, and that God continues to bless you guys. We also additionally ask that you guys please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Come on, guys, let's tap on into it. So sadly, guys, I'm here to report on the last 3 mass shootings that we've had in our country in the last 14 days, guys. It's been terrible. Firstly, we got the California church shooting that took place on May 18th this month. Secondly, we got the Buffalo, New York shooting that took place on the 14th of this month as well. Then last but not least, we got the Uvalde, Texas shooting that took place on the 24th of this month. Guys, it's crazy. The California church shooting took place in Geneva Presbyterian Church in Laguna Woods, California, allegedly by a 68-year-old David Child, who killed 1 person and wounded 5 people. Then we have the Buffalo, New York shooting that took place at the Tops supermarket by allegedly an 18-year-old Peyton Gendron, who killed 10 people and wounded 3 other people. Crazy, guys. This man even went as far as to film himself doing it. He didn't get caught by the cameras of the store. This man filmed his own self taking life. And now the Uvalde, Texas shooting that took place at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas by allegedly an 18-year-old man by the name of Salvador Ramos. This man killed 19 of our babies, man. We talking about kids. We talking about people who are in grammar school. This man killed 19 kids and 2 teachers. Crazy, man. Crazy. And that was after he shot his grandmother in the face. Now, I haven't seen any reports reported again yet, but he just shot her as of now in the face. I don't think she's dead, but if she is dead, I missed the reporting on it. So you guys correct me in the comments. But yo, this stuff is crazy altogether. I mean, the shootings like this that just happened within the last 2 weeks, it reminds us of earlier infamous shootings that, you know, hurt us, man. And from the 2000s up, man, it hurt us. Like in April of 2007, 23-year-old Sungway Cho chose to go inside a Virginia Tech school and shoot 32 people dead and wounded 17 others. This took place in Blacksburg, Virginia, or the December 2012 shooting that took place in Newtown, Connecticut by a 20-year-old named Adam Lanzer, who killed 26 people inside of the Sandy Hooks Elementary School, took his own life afterwards, and then beforehand took his mom's life, just like Salvador Ramos shot his grandmother in the face before he went into Robb Elementary School and took 19 lives of our children and 2 lives of our teachers. Or how about the June 2015 shooting that took place in Charleston, South Carolina by a 21-year-old Dylan Roof, where he went into an Emmanuel African church and killed 9 people and wounded 1 person. And I know you guys can remember the February 2018 shooting that took place in Parkland, Florida by 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz in Stoneman Douglas High School. This man killed 17 people and wounded 17 others. Guys, I have to remind us of these sick massacres because I want to stress the point that these shooters are not targeting people in armed places such as police stations or military bases or even gun ranges. They're preying on our weak in our schools, the churches, the parks, the supermarkets in states and cities that they know have sick gun laws that prohibit civilians from being able to carry guns to defend themselves and others. A firearm is the most necessary means today to defending yourselves and others from crimes and criminals like these. I don't hear any mainstream media trying to push the initiative to educate, train, and equip our teachers, or at least the principals in these schools, to give our students another fighting chance, to give our kids a fighting chance. No, and you're not going to hear about it because they just want to have trash media talks suggesting things like getting rid of guns and making stricter gun laws for people who are not going to follow them. Think about it, guys. The only people who are being affected by these gun laws and stricter gun laws are the people who are legitimately able to own these guns. That's it. The criminals are not abiding by the law in the first place. So even when and if they're able to strip our guns from us, they'll still be criminals. Go and ask Australia. Mr. Universal background check. Mr. Mandatory buyback. Go and ask Australia. This is what they want to do, guys. You don't hear them mainstreaming things like what just happened on the 26th of this same month in Charleston, West Virginia, where allegedly a superwoman came up to defend people against a 37-year-old Dennis Butler, who basically got mad because the people were having like a graduation / birthday party, and they asked for him to slow down in his vehicle because kids were around. This dude got mad, went to go and get an AR-15. Again, make sure y'all pay attention to all these shootings and stuff that got AR-15s in them. Went to go and get his AR-15 and began to shoot up the party. This lady stepped to him courageously and bold, put rounds in him, and he ended up dying on the scene. But she was able to defend what could have been the next mass shooting because this man was probably out of his mind as well. She was able to defend all of these people in the party. Now, I don't know in detail about how many people were there, how many people witnessed it. We don't know that yet because it's a fresh report. But, yo, they don't report stuff like that in the mainstream. This lady just protected people that were in a party that were already getting shot at by this man, Dennis Butler, 37 years old. She put him down. She rightfully bare arms and she rightfully put him down. We don't even know her name yet, guys. But you don't hear the mainstream media talking about things like that because things like what has happened in the last 14 days takes precedent over things that just happened, the day before yesterday? And it's sad. It's supposed to, in a way, but I mean, report that too. Like, man, we had this stuff that happened over here with these main shootings, but guess what, guys? Bless the Lord, we had somebody to step up and actually put an end to what could have been the next mass shooting. Or else we would have been reporting that too. Let's speak about that. No, instead, they want to try to convince you that AR in the AR-15 means assault rifle instead of Armalite rifle. This is what they want to do. AR means Armalite rifle. It doesn't mean assault rifle. But you'll hear Joe Biden babbling on and on about getting rid of assault rifles. Assault rifles are already illegal in our country, guys. Regular civilians cannot own assault rifles and any other fully automatic guns. You have to have a tax stamp on those guns or be a business to own those guns. Regular civilians are not walking around with an assault rifle. You know, those are military grade rifles. And AR-15 is not a military grade rifles like you might hear these popular big-headed politicians saying. It's not. No war vet will ever go to war with an AR-15. Why? Because it's a semi-automatic rifle. Regular people are not walking around with those guns. And as far as those shootings and stuff happening in Chicago and other places with these switches and stuff, those switches are illegal as well. They're not supposed to have those things on those guns, but they do. Because they're criminals, not because they're law-abiding citizens. Let's not mix this up, guys. And another thing I keep hearing, Salvador Ramos shouldn't have been able to buy a gun at the age of 18. He's not even old enough to go to the club. He's not even old enough to buy a beer. Yeah, I agree with you guys. What's your point? Texas's law is that at the age of 18 years old, you are able now to bear arms of guns to protect yourself from criminals and others. Like, what's the big idea? He might not be able to get into a club or go to the corner store to get some liquor or a beer. But guess what? Nobody want to talk about how that same tender 18-year-old youth is able to go into all 4 of the military branches of our military. Nobody's talking about that. And what are they training them to do in the military? They're training them to be tactical for war. Yeah, and it's supposedly to defend the country, but they use it and do it for all type of other stuff as well. So let's stop all this senseless babbling about laws needing to come and guns needing to go. Because at the end of the day, a criminal is going to be just that, a criminal. So regardless to where we're like Australia, where they trick their dang on constituents to voting in a national gun registry, and then next, when crime kept going on because of criminals with guns, they did a mandatory buyback, and now the people of Australia can't have guns. And yes, the statistics are still what they are. People are still being shot and killed all over. Look at New York. The craziest gun laws. The stupidest gun laws. California, the craziest gun laws, the stupidest gun laws. Those places, just like Georgia, just like Texas, still have people who get shot and killed by people with guns, whether they're legal or illegal. And in most of those cases, no legitimate person that's legitimately carrying a gun is going to do crimes with their guns in their right state of mind. Granted, Salvador Ramos was dead wrong for taking the lives of all of those innocent people. However, what we have to think about and what we must consider is that he was well within his constitutional God-given right to keep and bear arms. He walked into those stores legitimately and bought those guns because of the law. He followed the law in doing so. What we need to think about is the mindset that he was in, the mind frame that he had buying those guns, his intent buying those guns. This man intended, because of his psyche, to go and buy those guns, possess those guns, to go and do a mass shooting. That's what I condemn, and that's what we all should condemn. The psychiatric mindset of people, right? I hear all of these suggestions about what should happen now. What law should be this? Or what should we do? Let me hear suggestions about educating these targeted groups. Let me hear suggestions about training these targeted groups. Let me hear suggestions about equipping these targeted groups with firearms to be able to defend themselves and the lives of others around them from these type of criminals. Let me hear that. We don't hear enough of that. And then I'm even for the suggestion of, hey, a psychiatric evaluation. You know, hey, you're old enough by law. You passed the background check by law. So now let's get you a psychiatric evaluation and get you educated, trained, and equipped to carry your arm. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm for. And that's what we all should be for. People don't even know that you can't have a history of being in a mental institution when you go and apply to get a gun. If they look your name up and you have a history of being institutionalized because of your mental state, you're automatically disqualified from being able to buy a firearm. if you are on record for taking meds for your mental state, you are automatically disqualified from being able to purchase an arm. People don't even know that, or they are convinced that there's no background checks in order to purchase a firearm. Guys, stop letting our government, stop letting the president, stop letting these knucklehead democratic politics condition your mind and deceive you into thinking that there are no background checks being ran in order for people to purchase firearms. There is definitely a background check for every single firearm that you would like to purchase. And if you fail that background check, if you have something in your background that is going to deny you or make you ineligible to be able to own a firearm, you cannot own a firearm. I'm fed up with the deception that's going on about everything. I can't even get settled in my spirit and help the families of these people mourn because I'm so busy thinking about, well, what are they not telling us? Or what are they not doing involving these situations or surrounding these situations? I mean, something as simple as the Buffalo, New York shooter, 18-year-old Peyton. This dude right now, guys, is charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. From my knowledge, my wisdom, my understanding about how the law goes, he's at least supposed to have 14 different counts of charges that he should be facing. 10 counts of first-degree murder because he killed 10 people. 3 counts of attempt murder because he wounded 3 people. And a hate crime because he went into a predominantly black city of New York and a predominantly black neighborhood in in Buffalo, and a predominantly black supermarket. This is what he did. He made up in his mind to have racist thoughts, racist actions, and he even recorded himself doing it. That's some sick stuff. This man has 1 count of first-degree murder. That hate crime charge, that 14th hate crime charge, is supposed to enhance his charges and make his charges turn into a federal case. That's the least that's supposed to be going on with that dude right now. Those are the least of his charges right now. This man literally only has 1 count of first-degree murder. That's absurd. That's unheard of. So these are the type of things that I'm thinking about. What is my government not telling me? What is the feds doing? What is the CIA doing? Why weren't these people able to catch Salvador Ramos before he left his home? I'm not going to say before he had a chance to shoot his grandmother because she's right there, but before he left his home at least. And at the most, before he even made it to that school. Call officers to all of the schools in the surrounding areas where he can go and commit such mass shootings. You guys are in so much control of social media and people's lives that this should have been handled. This should have been taken care of. I mean, if I post a video up or a picture up with music playing in the background that I don't own the rights to, guess what's going to happen? You guys are going to block that dang on post and immediately snatch that thing off probably within a minute. You know why? Because I don't own the rights to that music and you guys don't want to be involved in lawsuits and all that other crap. So what you do is you take it upon yourself as the social media heads and the controllers of our First Amendment right to freedom of speech or whatever it is that we're doing on these social media apps. You guys take it upon yourself to go ahead and delete that dang on post because it got music in it that I don't own rights to. But you couldn't take it upon yourself to see this dude typing in his dang on post talking about, I'm about to go and kill my grandmother. Oh, my grandmother's dead now. I'm about to go and shoot up this school. Like, yo, come on, man. And then other things that make me skeptical about these things is, yo, They talking about, it was at some point I was looking at the news and stuff, they talking about investigating the exact time that this dude committed the crimes at that school. Yo, you supposed to have cameras on the outside and the inside of the school. That's what you supposed to have, and I think it's an ordinance or a law. Because I know for a fact that daycares and stuff, they have to, by law, have cameras in their establishments. Not only to keep the establishment owners accountable, but to make sure that the kids are protected from whatever other kids, the establishment owner or the establishment managers, like the teachers or anything like that. Those places have to have cameras. You mean to tell me you don't know when he walked up to the school door and grabbed at the school door? You mean to tell me you don't know when he allowed the first round inside of the school? Then not only that, guys, another thing, this dude, was already shooting, they say, at least 10 minutes before he ever even went into the school. Where are the police at? Another thing I heard on the news, a guy that stays right across the street from the school. This dude is recording like 3 or 4 officers taking dang on cover behind a truck. He's not even outside at the moment. They're taking cover behind the truck from what I can see in the video. And he's telling them like, yo, what are y'all doing behind the truck? Go inside of the school. Y'all hear the commotion, y'all hear whatever, go inside of the school. He had to basically make these dudes get up from around, come from around the car and go inside of the schools, guys. Like, it's just too much going on. It's too much going on. And that leaves me with the inclination or with the idea that our government has something to do with this stuff. Call me what you wanna, whether it's for political gain or financial gain. It's making me, be skeptical of it. Like, no, that's not supposed to be happening like that. It's making me skeptical, guys. Like, that's not supposed to be happening like that, man. And then you got dudes like Beto O'Rourke going to interrupt these community meetings where they're giving updates to the families and the community about the shooting and how they're going to handle it and maybe what happened. This dude is in there interrupting them, talking about who they are, what they're not doing, condemning them for being Republican and all this other crap. This is the same dude that told you when Biden and Trump was running that he's going to take your AR-15s, that he's going to do whatever in his power to make stricter gun laws. That's only going to impact and affect people who are legitimately able to own these guns and that are legitimately going to be abiders of the law. Ain't no criminals about to do that. Why y'all steady having this conversation, man? These are the Democrats having these conversations. And we've been under these dang on conversations for too long, man. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't feel right. And I don't have peace with it, man. I don't know about you guys, but it's just too much going on. We have a long history of, the same repetitive things. For our government to keep failing us at, securing these groups of targeted people. They're preying on the weak, man. Where's the weak? The churches, the schools, the parks, the markets, and any other outdoor places in these states that have stupid gun laws that's prohibiting people from carrying and bearing arms. Like, we know where this stuff is happening at, man. How are we continuously failing? How? I hate to think that they did this stuff, or I would hate to think that the FBI and the CIA is paying these people to do these things, to cause an uproar, to instill fear, to deceive people for political gain, for financial gain. I would hate to think like that, guys, but this stuff is leaving me no other choice. I appreciate you guys for coming through and checking us out. I appreciate you guys for helping our page to get to where it is. I believe we're almost at 250 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000, y'all. So be sure that if you like this content, share this content with other people. Get the word out. Get the message out. Like this content. Subscribe to the page. And upon subscribing, be sure that you hit the notification bell so that you may be notified when we post something new. Guys, we're praying for our country. We're praying for our family. We're praying for your family. We're praying for the health of our economy. Help us while we do this. We love you guys. We thank you guys. And always remember, you gotta be holy.